As many of you know that have watched these videos, I am a pickle fanatic. I love anything pickled, and I love trying out new varieties of pickles or pickled vegetables or anything that has vinegar on it seems like. And thankfully, it's kind of on trend to have a lot of pickled things. If you go into any specialty shop or small batch maker, it seems like everyone is trying out new kinds of pickles or pickled items. So today I'm bringing you a simple and quick refrigerator Chipotle pickled cauliflower recipe. You can really use this on any vegetable. I love pickled cauliflower because I love the crunch of it, and cauliflower is one of my favorites. It's really something so quick that you can throw together, put in your fridge, and in a few days enjoy it with salads or just as on a relish plate, or take it to your friends. I think everyone is going to love the gourmet pickles that you are making. To start, you just want to put together the brine. Place some apple cider vinegar, some white vinegar and some water into a small kettle, and then add some salt, and then put in 2 chipotle peppers. You can buy these in a can, that's really the best way to buy them. And they come in a sauce, so I always put in about 2 chipotle peppers whole and then about 2 teaspoons of the sauce. Now these are extremely hot, and while they do mellow out in this pickled brine, they are still hot, so beware. If you get any of the juice on your hands, don't touch your face or your eyes or really anything. Just make sure you wash it right away, especially if you're not used to working with spicy things. And of course some sugar. You want to add sugar to anything pickled. I know it sounds kind of odd, but it really does bring out all the other flavors and you really don't notice the overall sweetness. And then some spices. I like to use some whole coriander seeds, whole mustard seeds, whole peppercorns, and a little bit of smoked paprika. Smoked paprika is extremely different than regular paprika, so don't think you can substitute. It has a wonderful smoky, deep flavor that you can just not get from anything else. Once that's all in the kettle, just stir it together and then place it on the stove over medium to medium-high heat. You just want this to come to a simmer just to make sure that it dissolves the sugar and all the salt and it brings out the flavors of the spices. While that's coming to a simmer, you can just prepare your cauliflower. It just takes 1 head of cauliflower, just a normal size one. You don't need to buy any of those weird, freaky, huge jumbo ones. Honestly, I think those have to be kind of GMO ones anyway. I like to use an organic one. That way you know it's from a good source and it's probably going to taste a lot better. Just clean it off and make sure to take all the leaves off, and then just take the florets away from the center core. I actually like to eat the core, so if you're anything like me, you can just reserve it and eat it later. It tastes a lot better than it looks, I promise. Just take the florets apart and kind of make some smaller pieces. I like to think of what I'd want to use as bite-sized pieces. And then just take off any bad spots if there are any. Of course, rinse and clean your cauliflower also. Once you have it ready to go, just stick it into your jar. This recipe is perfect for a half-gallon jar, and that usually fits about 1 normal-sized head of cauliflower in perfectly. So put the cauliflower in. If you have a little bit more or less, don't worry about it, it doesn't matter. And then once your cauliflower is ready to go, just make sure that your brine has come to a simmer and remove it from the stove. Pour the hot brine directly onto the cauliflower in the jar. And if you're anything like me, make sure not to make too much of a mess, because I have done this, and when that brine gets on the floor, it is a sticky mess because of the sugar in it, and it is a mess to clean up. So be extra careful when you're pouring it in, and don't be like me, you might want to use a funnel. Once your brine is on, you just want to make sure that it completely covers the cauliflower. If not, you may have to mix up a little bit more brine, but this should come out just about perfect. Let it cool down to room temperature and then tightly put a lid on top and put it in your fridge. I think it's best to wait about a week, but if you can't help it, after a few days you can take a taste of one of the pieces and see if it's strong enough for you. But the longer it sits, the better pickled flavor it will really get. I think you're going to be addicted to this new pickled cauliflower, as I know I am. It is so delicious, and you can really play around with the spices that you put into it and make it a little bit more accustomed to exactly how you want it to be. I love anything pickled, and I hope you're inspired to start pickling your own vegetables, because it's not summer yet, but you can start the pickling process and at least have it in your fridge this time of year. If you love this video, make sure to click like below. And if you want more great videos, click subscribe. We want you to be part of the Gray Boxwood family. I can't wait to see you guys till next time.